The wound that heaven was waiting for chosen one. Before you even continue listening, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not meant for everyone. This message is not for casual listeners. It is not for the curious. It is not for the entertained. This message only reaches those whose spirit has already been marked. And if you are here right now, it is because something painful happened to you recently. Someone hurt you, not a stranger, not someone unimportant, but someone close enough to leave a wound that still burns in silence. And heaven says, that wound was not an accident. The pain you didn't deserve. You tried to be patient. You tried to understand. You tried to forgive before you were even asked to. You gave explanations when none were owed. You stayed quiet when your heart wanted to scream. And still, they chose to hurt you. They spoke words that cut deeper than actions. They crossed boundaries they knew existed. They betrayed trust that took years to build. And the hardest part? They acted like you were the problem. Heaven saw that. Every tear you swallowed, every night you questioned yourself, every time you replayed the moment wondering, what did I do wrong? And heaven says, you did nothing wrong. Why it hurt so much? Chosen one, listen carefully. It hurt so deeply because that person was standing at the edge of your next level. They were not meant to go with you, but they were meant to push you. You see, when God prepares a divine shift, He does not always use comfort. Sometimes He uses contrast. Sometimes He allows betrayal to awaken discernment. Sometimes He allows disrespect to awaken self-worth. Sometimes He allows pain to activate power. And heaven says, the pain was the signal. The divine law you didn't know. There is a spiritual law few understand. Nothing can leave your life unless it has completed its assignment. That person's assignment was not to stay. It was to trigger. Trigger your awakening. Trigger your boundaries. Trigger your transformation. They were sent as a mirror, not to show your flaws, but to show you what you can no longer tolerate. And the moment they crossed that line, the divine shift began. Why it happened now, you may wonder. Why now? Why when things were already heavy? Why when I was already tired? Heaven answers, because you were ready. If this had happened earlier, it would have broken you. But now, it only revealed your strength. You didn't collapse. You didn't beg. You didn't lose yourself. You felt pain, yes, but you also felt something else rising. Clarity, and clarity is the doorway to elevation. They felt it too. Here is something you may not realize yet. The moment they hurt you, they felt a shift they couldn't explain. Their peace changed, their energy scattered, their clarity faded. Because when someone harms a chosen one after their season has ended, they unknowingly step out of alignment. Heaven does not punish, it rebalances. And heaven says, what they released will return to them. The silence was your power. You didn't fight back. You didn't explain yourself endlessly. You didn't chase closure. And that silence, that was not weakness. That was authority. Because chosen ones don't argue with exits. They don't beg people to stay beyond their assignment. Your silence closed a karmic door that words never could. The first sign of the shift. Since that moment, notice carefully. Your tolerance has changed. Your patience has sharpened. Your intuition has become louder. Your desire for solitude has increased. That is not isolation. That is preparation. When heaven rearranges a life, it first rearranges the soul. And you are in that phase right now. Heaven's message for you. Heaven wants you to know this clearly. That person did not defeat you. They activated you. The wound was the key. The betrayal was the trigger. The pain was the permission. And this is only the beginning. What heaven activated the moment they hurt you? Chosen one. The moment they hurt you, something unseen shifted in the spiritual realm. You did not hear thunder. You did not see signs in the sky, but alignment moved because heaven had been waiting for that exact moment. The invisible door that closed when they crossed that boundary, a door quietly shut. Not for you, for them. Access ended. Access to your energy, access to your protection, access to your favor. They don't know it yet, but they feel the absence. That is why they may suddenly feel restless, feel misunderstood, feel blocked, feel drained, because the covering lifted. Heaven says they can no longer reach you. Why you feel strangely calm. Yes, you cried. Yes, it hurt. But underneath it all, there is an unfamiliar calm. That calm is confirmation. It is the peace that comes when a spiritual contract expires. Your soul knows this chapter is over. That is why your heart no longer chases answers. That is why you stopped explaining. That is why you feel lighter, even with the pain. The shift in your discernment. Before, you gave the benefit of the doubt. Now, you notice patterns. Before, you excused behavior. Now you observe energy. Before, you tried to fix. Now you protect. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom. Heaven says, you graduated from lessons to leadership. What heaven is rearranging. Behind the scenes, 3 things are happening. 1. Old connections are dissolving. People who resonated with your past can no longer recognize your frequency. 2. Delays are being removed. What felt stuck was never blocked. It was waiting for you to detach. 3. New alignments are approaching, but they can only arrive once the old energy clears. That person leaving your emotional space made room for what can finally stay. Why they may try to return. Be prepared. When people feel access slipping, they often attempt re-entry. They may apologize suddenly, minimize what happened, pretend nothing changed, guilt trip you, act confused. This is not love. This is loss of control. Heaven warns, do not reopen what God closed, because reopening that door delays the blessing behind you. The power of not chasing closure. Closure is not always a conversation. Sometimes closure is clarity without explanation. Sometimes closure is peace without agreement. And sometimes closure is realizing you no longer need their understanding to move forward. That is maturity. That is spiritual authority. The real upgrade. The divine shift is not just external, it is internal. You are learning how to walk away without guilt, how to trust your intuition, how to value your peace, how to stop overgiving. This version of you cannot be accessed by manipulation anymore, and heaven smiles at that. What comes next after the divine shift, chosen one? What comes next is not chaos. It is alignment, but alignment first feels unfamiliar. The quiet phase. Right now, life may feel quiet, not lonely, just still. That is not emptiness, that is recalibration. Heaven often removes noise before it introduces clarity. This is where strength is rebuilt. New doors, new energy. Soon you will notice conversations that feel lighter, opportunities that feel natural, respect without explanation, peace without effort. These are signs you are finally aligned with what matches you. The blessing that could not come before. Some blessings cannot enter a crowded emotional space. That person was occupying a seat they were never meant to keep. Now that the seat is empty, heaven fills it properly. The final confirmation. One day, without warning, you will think of them and feel nothing, no anger, no sadness, no curiosity, only neutrality. That is when you will know. The shift is complete. Heaven's final word. Chosen. 1. Hear this. What tried to break you was only clearing your path. What hurt you was never meant to stay. And what comes next will require the strength you just gained. Stay grounded. Stay silent. Stay aligned. Because heaven is not done with you yet.